Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today at our virtual reality naloxone training simulation webinar. As many of you know, we are thrilled to partner with Walmart to present this unique virtual reality training experience. We initially launched this simulation back in February of 2020 at CACA's National Leadership Forum. We then engaged with many of our coalitions to learn how our communities can host events using this technology. We had an amazing initial feedback, including how to use this VR tool as a standalone awareness event, create a training around it, or add it to trainings that are already being held. To date, we've held almost 20 virtual screening events. We've engaged thousands of participants, and we look forward to hosting more events in the coming year and engaging countless new participants. Tonight, we are thankful for you, our amazing CACA members and guests. And we are specifically thankful to tonight's co-host, Reverend Shane Britt, and the Scottsville-Allen County Faith Coalition in Scottsville, Kentucky. Before I kick this off to hear from our esteemed group of speakers, I want to let everyone know the goals for today. First, we will hear from a wonderful group of speakers here in Kentucky who are working every day to save lives. We are honored for them to be part of this event. Then we will view a virtual reality simulation developed by Walmart that demonstrates a few different scenarios on how to recognize when an overdose is happening and how to administer naloxone. From these events, we plan to learn how to use this technology to better save lives and create a norm that every life is worth saving. Lastly, after we hear from our speakers and see the simulation, we will have a few moments for some guided Q&A. I will ask a few questions at the end of the hour, and if you would please type your answers into the chat, we would love to learn from you all that are in attendance today on how you would use this virtual reality format in your communities. From these events, we hope to learn how to use this technology to better save lives. Additionally, in the weeks to come, we will reach out to you all as a group to get more input from you as well. Now I'm pleased to introduce our first speaker, CACA's Chief of Staff, Valentino Murphy. Valentino Murphy joined our team last year and has been working ever since to further CACA's mission of building and maintaining safe and healthy drug-free communities. We are thrilled to have him with us at CACA and appreciate him being here today to speak with us. Valentino.
Thank you for that great introduction, Mia. As you stated, I'm excited to be here for this very important event. Before I begin, I want to thank Walmart for their investment in not only this technology, but for their investment in the people who will benefit from this life-saving training. I'd also like to extend a special thanks to our co-hosts and our close friends, the Scottsville-Allen County Fair Coalition. Reverend Shane Britt has not only been a great advocate and ally of CACA for many years, but helps guide our efforts across the country on the CACA Coalition Advisory Committee. It's an honor to be on with him and the other leaders from the great state of Kentucky. Finally, a big thank you to everyone on today's webinar. We hope this unique event will train you on how local agencies are collaborating to combat the opioid epidemic in our communities. CACA has a footprint in over 30 countries. Worldwide, we have more than 5,000 coalitions across the United States, including 53 coalitions here in Kentucky. We have sought to train community residents and leaders to build and develop coalitions in their communities and reduce substance misuse by adapting CACA's model for community change. We're now entering a hopeful and promising stage in the country. We are vaccinated, boosted, and committed to having life return to normal. We must use this energy, this new shot of life, to stay motivated and create innovative and groundbreaking strategies to address substance use. Today's webinar is a great example of that. CACA knows that the prevention of substance use and misuse before it starts is the most cost-effective and cost-efficient way to reduce substance misuse. Prevention has become more important than ever. Recently, the CDC reported that over 109,000 drug overdoses occurred in the United States in the 12 months ending in March 2022. This is the largest number for a 12-month period ever recorded. To put it into perspective, that number is equivalent to the entire population of Scottsville, or 1/3 the population of all of Lexington. Sadly, it's estimated that the number will increase. This is tragic, and we have to do our level best to right this ship. As life returns to normal, it is important to work together as one. One nation, one goal, one CACA. One CACA is a call to action. It signals that the participant within this movement must unite and come together as one if we are to win. Together we are stronger. And as we train substance use and misuse prevention to coalitions every day of the year, all across the world, we know that without the buy-in of leaders and community stakeholders such as yourselves, our desired end state will prove unachievable. You are the true heroes in your community. The conversation being had today on this webinar is not a unique one. Our partners at the Drug Enforcement Administration recently launched their One Pill Can Kill campaign, which aims to raise awareness about fentanyl-laced pills that are killing so many fellow Americans. Let it be known, if you do not receive your medication from your licensed pharmacist, do not take it. We have seen what one pill laced with fentanyl can do, and we do not need to see any more lives lost. Keep up the great work that you are doing, and I look forward to seeing you in person the next time we're all together. Thank you for having me on. Back to you, Mia.
Thank you for those remarks, Valentino. We appreciate you joining us tonight. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our first speaker. We are so pleased to be able to share with you all our first guest for the evening, United States Senator Mitch McConnell. Senator McConnell is currently serving in his 7th term as U.S. Senator for Kentucky, first elected in 1984 and is Kentucky's longest serving senator. He has served as Senate Minority Leader since 2007 and as Majority Leader from 2015 to 2021. Senator McConnell serves as a member of the Senate Appropriations Committee and has supported funding for the Drug-Free Communities, or DFC, program, helping to secure $106 million in funding for the program for fiscal year 2022, the highest level at which the program has ever been funded. Senator McConnell recognizes the special role the DFC program plays in fighting substance misuse among young people and helping to keep substances out of Kentucky's communities. Senator McConnell's efforts have secured nearly $2.5 million in funding for Kentucky DFC grantees. CACA has had a long and important friendship with Senator McConnell. With his support and with the amazing support of our coalition, such as the 50+ coalitions in Kentucky, CACA continues to advocate and grow the DFC program and provides training, membership benefits, and technical assistance to every single drug-free communities grantee. We are thrilled to hear from Senator McConnell.
Hello, I'm Senator Mitch McConnell. Thank you for the opportunity to join your conference virtually and speak about this critical issue. Kentucky is on the front lines of substance abuse epidemic. This crisis is growing and requires an all-hands, on-deck approach from every level of government. I've been proud to work with community stakeholders and local officials from around Kentucky to coordinate our response. Today's summit is an example of what our alliance has achieved. Through the Drug-Free Communities program, the federal government is sending resources directly to the groups on the ground in Kentucky, fighting the substance abuse epidemic every day. In August, the Scottsville-Allen County Faith Coalition was one of several Kentucky organizations to receive funding through this initiative to expand their anti-drug efforts. I'm a strong supporter of the Drug-Free Communities program, and I'm glad it's helping Kentuckians develop community-wide programming to combat addiction. But our federal programs would mean nothing if not for the tireless work of community leaders like you. So thank you for working hard to turn the tide of substance abuse in the Bluegrass. I look forward to continuing our close work and helping save lives in Kentucky.
Thank you, Senator McConnell, for your great work, your support of CACA and the DFC program. We appreciate you. Next, we will hear from David Birch, Mayor of the City of Scottsville. Mayor Birch was appointed interim mayor by the City Council in 2019 and elected to office in 2020. While in office, Mayor Birch has overseen the expansion and diversification of business and work opportunities in downtown Scottsville and works with stakeholders across the city on preservation and revitalization of historic Scottsville. He has additionally launched a podcast to share information with residents about city initiatives and partnerships and invite discussion about the community. Mayor Birch is retired from a career at the USDA, and before serving as mayor, David Birch served as director of the Allen County Adult Education Program and as the executive director of the Heart of Scottsville, a nonprofit organization focused on preserving and developing the city's historic downtown. Mayor Birch, we look forward to your insights.
Hi, I'm David Birch. I'm the mayor of Scottsville, Kentucky, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you about the crisis, the opioid crisis and overdoses going on across the country and here locally in our community in Scottsville, Kentucky. We've had, unfortunately, numerous overdose episodes in our community. One of the positive things that we've been able to do is the access to Narcan. It's really available to all of our first responders. I know, of course, the obvious partners are EMS and law enforcement and so forth. But and actually, Narcan, I have actually received the training myself. I keep a Narcan kit in my office, and sometimes I carry it with me when I'm out and about in the community, because you never know what kind of situation you're going to run up into. I think that, with the episodes going on here in Scottsville and Allen County, there's an awareness that drug overdoses come at any time, any place, and a lot of times they're just unanticipated. I know EMS, of course, is fully trained in Narcan treatment. Our law enforcement officers all carry a Narcan kit with them. One of the things that we look at is like I said, the unanticipation of what you may run up into. And it's always better to be safe than sorry. I know we have a great partnership with Faith Coalition here, who's very responsive in providing needed supplies, Narcan kits and so forth to the community. And one of the things that we've tried to do here in this community is not limit it just to your first responder community. Like I said myself, I'm trained. Anyone in the office or in any of our departments could be trained. Also, we're in many different parts of the community, and we're out in the public a lot. And sometimes you see things or you run upon things that may help save someone's life. And it's a very simple process, but the benefits are tremendous, saving lives, literally. One of the things the Faith Coalition has done in law enforcement is educating our community in having access to Narcan, using it, the benefits of saving someone's life in a moment's notice. This is, it's nothing that can be planned. And I think that part of the education and training is being put in those situations when you're not a first responder or you're not used to those situations, but you recognize that there's an issue, that someone's life is in danger. And I think that even if it ends up not being what exactly you thought it was, you still made the effort to save someone's life. And it may have been an unnecessary injection or at the time, but or not injection, but the application of Narcan. And it's always, to me personally, to be safe and sorry, because anymore it's in every aspect of community life. So you really don't understand the situation at that moment. But I think that here in our local level here in Scottsville, Kentucky, we've had enough incidents here that the community is concerned about the amount of drug overdoses and actually several deaths have resulted from those overdoses. And I think that, families that have been affected, officials have, are aware of the situation, and just the optics of what is happening in our community. I think it's very important that we play a vital part in educating the public and making Narcan available, along with our partners, Faith Coalition, EMS, law enforcement, and those kind of things. And I think that our community is better served by having trained folks that can apply Narcan. And the benefits are tremendous. You're actually literally probably saving someone's life on a moment's notice. And it may be something that, that you never thought would happen, but it's something you need to be prepared for. I'm proud of Scottsville and Allen County for the awareness, because so many folks here have been affected by opiate abuse and so forth, and either the actual literally deaths of folks, sickness, and so forth. And we think that this is an opportunity to be a part of something really great. I just want to finish up that it's an awesome program, the partnership. I think that CACA has done with Walmart, the grants available, the amount of resources that are being used for this program cannot be minimized enough or maximized in what is going on and the benefits it's helping our community and others. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Birch, for speaking to us today and for your tremendous work you're doing in Scottsville. Next up, we are honored to have with us Allen County's Chief Elected Official, Judge Executive Dennis Harper. Judge Harper grew up in Scottsville and learned community involvement while working at his family's restaurant starting at age 12. He graduated from Western Kentucky University and is currently retired from a 27-year career at Gunther Roofing, Allen County's largest construction company and one of the largest roofing companies in the area. Prior to serving as judge and executive, he volunteered with the Allen County JCs and served on the Allen County Fair Board for over 30 years. Judge Harper has served a term on the City Council where he learned a lot from former Mayor Dale Hall. He served as magistrate of District 1 and deputy judge executive for more than a decade. Judge Harper was elected to become Allen County's judge and executive and has served in that role since 2019. We are so excited to hear from you, Judge Harper.
Hello, I'm Dennis Harper, the Allen County Judge Executive. The Scottsville-Allen County Faith Coalition and partners are honored to collaborate with CADCA and Walmart on this overdose prevention project. Addiction remains one of the most critical public health and safety issues facing our country. The abuse of prescription drugs, heroin, methamphetamine, and fentanyl have contributed to an alarming increase in overdose deaths. More than 107,000 overdose deaths have been reported in the U.S. between December 2020 and December 2021. According to the 2021 Drug Overdose Report, over 2,250 Kentuckians died from an overdose. Prevention needs to start with our children and our youth. We have evidence-based curriculum that is taught to our Allen County Scottsville school system. During the pandemic, we were able to move our curriculum to a virtual platform. We also teach 1 week of drug prevention to our 9th graders at the Allen County Scottsville High School. It includes fatal vision goggles, impaired driving course, and our drug dogs are brought in by our local law enforcement. The evidence-based curriculum and the drug prevention are taught both in the fall and the spring at our school. The Faith Coalition, along with the school system and the senior parents, sponsor an up-all-night program each year for our senior class. It is a safe, fun-filled, and drug-free night of activities. The Scottsville-Allen County Faith Coalition has 4 youth representatives. 2 of them attended the Medications for Opioid Use Disorder training in Chicago. We need to empower our youth to be the prevention advocates. Next, I would like to talk to you about Narcan, which is a life-saving, safe, effective drug used for the reversal of opioid overdose. Narcan, which did require a prescription, is now readily available by standing order. All medical facilities, our Sheriff's Department, Scottsville Police Department, fire departments, EMS, and other first responders now have access to this drug. Our first responders have been trained to administer the drug. After each training, trainees will be able to recognize the signs and symptoms of an overdose, know how to administer Narcan, address the stigma surrounding Narcan, and how to prevent overdoses. We have held 5 Narcan trainings since July, and will continue to implement those trainings throughout the year. These trainings were made possible by the collaboration of the Faith Coalition, the law enforcement, EMS, and Victory Hill Dream Center. The Faith Coalition, ASAP, CARA, and DSC work together as a team on reducing substance abuse here in Allen County. And positive things will happen when all sectors work together. God bless Allen County, God bless the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and God bless the United States of America.
Thank you, Judge Harper. Your lifetime of work has served many and made an impact in Kentucky. Next, we will hear from Scottsville Police Department Chief Darren Tabor. Chief Tabor joined the department in 2007 and attended the 18-week Department of Criminal Justice training at Eastern Kentucky University. He was promoted to Assistant Chief of Police in 2013 and has served as chief for the past 3 years. Before joining the Scottsville Police Department, Chief Tabor worked as an EMT for 10 years in Bowling Green. Chief Tabor is a graduate of Allen County Scottsville High School and earned a Bachelor of Science degree from Western Kentucky University in 2005. When he's away from the department, Chief Tabor spends time with his wife and son and relaxes on his 400-acre family farm where he helps raise registered Angus cattle. Here now is Chief Tabor.
Hello, I'm Chief Tabor with the Scottsville Police Department, Scottsville, Kentucky. We're coming to you today to talk about Narcan, naloxone, and how it's used in our department, and where we started out with this and where we are now. I would say we started carrying Narcan here around 2017. The naloxone is provided to us by a local faith-based organization, which is the Allen County Faith Coalition. They supply the Narcan for us at no cost to us. Our officers, we have a 19 sworn police department. Our officers carry Narcan with them in their patrol cars on their daily routines. Many times we responded to medical emergencies and are able to arrive prior to the medical professionals arriving. And we will administer that Narcan in an overdose situation to try to intervene with that overdose. The local partnership that we have with the Faith Coalition is very strong. We're thankful that they're able to provide that to us. Narcan having the short shelf life, around 2 years with that shelf life, so we're able to swap that out and use that Narcan that's expired for training, and they're able to replenish us with fresh Narcan for our officers to be able to carry on the street on their daily duties. About some of the local partnerships we have here. We have we're very active in our police Facebook to push information out on what we need. We're very proactive with the schools. We have school resource officers in each one of the schools, which also has Narcan there on them as well. Different community events. We host a Citizens Police Academy. Another organization that we have partnered with this last year has been the Dream Center here in Scottsville. The Dream Center is managed by Amy Payne and Darren Blankenship, which is a attachment to Victory Hill Church. They have added a remote location from Victory Hill Church in Scottsville in the city limits. And we have come up with a program or did a spinoff of the program of the Angel Initiative program that the Kentucky State Police has. We call our program the First Step program. Basically, the First Step program works just like the Angel Initiative. If someone that has an addiction, that has drugs, and wants to walk into the police department and voluntarily surrender those and say, I need help, then we're able to take those and dispose of those drugs the proper way and get this person help where they need it. So we've we've been successful so far with this program. We have had some response to this program. Amy at the Dream Center and Darren have been great to work with. So we definitely like to thank them for what they're doing in our community, what they're doing locally in Scottsville. As far as the Narcan, back to the Narcan a little bit. When we first started Narcan around that 2017 mark, when we started that, we had a local paramedic come in from our local EMS and taught us the use of the nasal Narcan. Just a short training of how it's used, what it does to the body, and when to use it, when not to use it. And all our officers receive that training. We do an annual Narcan training now every year to refresh the officers on the use of Narcan and to show the new officers how to use Narcan and what it's used for. The Dream Center hosted a Narcan here just a few months ago it was for the public. It was Narcan training for the public. Was actually we were able to be some part of that. We provided our expired Narcan to that organization to be able to use for that training. And to my understanding, they passed out Narcan to the public at that event as well.
Thank you, Chief Tabor, for your tireless service to the health of our communities. Our next speaker, Shane Britt, is the founder and executive director of the Scottsville-Allen County Faith Coalition. The coalition that began in 2006 has become a household name in Scottsville and Allen County. The coalition is currently a drug-free communities grantee, a graduate of the National Coalition Academy, and has been featured in many local, state, and regional workshops over the years. In addition to the many state and local grants received, the coalition was also the recipient of the HRSA Rural Opioid Overdose Reversal Program in 2015 to combat the spike in prescription opioid use in the county. Reverend Britt is a former Kentucky Champions consultant, a regular speaker at local trainings and workshops, and spent many years traveling across the Commonwealth to help other communities in coalition building. In 2020, he was appointed by Governor Beshear to serve as a board chairperson of the Kentucky Agency for Substance Abuse Policy and serves as the chaplain of the Kentucky Army National Guard. Reverend Shane is a graduate of Western Kentucky University with a Bachelor of Arts and holds a Master of Divinity from Regent University. He is also a special deputy for the Allen County Sheriff's Department and serves as their chaplain. In addition, Shane is a member and former chair of the Scottsville-Allen County 911 Board, a current member of the Scottsville Rotary Chamber of Commerce, and a member of Community Action of Southern Kentucky's Emergency Food and Shelter Board. He is the former chairman of the Life Skills Inc. Board and currently serves as senior pastor of Pleasant Ridge Church. Reverend Shane.
Hey, good evening, everyone. My name is Shane Britt. I am the executive director of the Scottsville-Allen County Faith Coalition. I want to thank CADCA and Walmart for this great opportunity to share and to do this project. It is a great opportunity, and I don't take it lightly. I want to thank CADCA for their years of partnership with our organization. I've been a member of CADCA for many, many years and long time. And I'm proud to be not only a member of CADCA, but also a member of the Coalition Advisory Council with CADCA. It's a great organization, and they are making this possible here today. Again, as I already said, I'm the executive director here of the Scottsville-Allen County Faith Coalition, and this is a local nonprofit that's dedicated to substance use prevention. We do a lot more than that, but that was the kind of the reason that we got our start many years ago. I started this organization over a cup of coffee with a couple of friends of mine after seeing some very tragic events take place in our community. I have been the chaplain also here for the Allen County Sheriff's Office since probably 2009. I've been to many calls that I wish I hadn't have been called to, and it has caused me to do everything I can within my power and to bring about a great group of sector leaders here in Allen County and in Scottsville, community partners that are also my friends and colleagues in this work to reduce substance use within our community. We followed the 7 strategies for community change for many years, from providing information to seeing real physical change and local policies regarding substance use. We work closely every day with our school districts to implement evidence-based drug prevention curriculum that's taught with fidelity there in the school district. We've had a severe methamphetamine problem, which was considered what crank back then, or dirty meth. After we passed some legislation here that made it more difficult for pseudoephedrine to get into the hands of folks in order to make the meth, we transitioned to a terrible pill problem, an opiate problem that we've still not recovered from. This community still has a pill problem and a recurring methamphetamine problem. As a result of that, once we heard that there was a drug that could potentially save lives called naloxone, we immediately went to work on trying to figure out how in the world can we get this and what do we need to do to implement it in our community, because I'm here not only to try to convince young people not to ever go down this road, but to also for those, for whatever reason, end up taking a substance that could cost them their life. What can we do to reverse that and give them a second chance? As a good friend of mine who runs the Dream Center here emphasized to me that dead people cannot get clean. So we have to give them every chance that we can. As a person of faith and as a pastor of a local congregation here and as a chaplain, we don't just give them 2 chances or 3 chances or 4 chances. I think Peter asked Jesus one day, how many times should I forgive? Is it 7 times? Is it 10 times? And I'm taking a little bit of liberty with the scriptures, but Jesus pretty much said, it's unlimited, Peter. It's unlimited. We just keep doing what we know to do. We keep offering people the help that they need. And we found out about this drug and this opioid inhibitor. So we went to work to try to access it. And over the years, we have first, we went down the road of trying to train all of our emergency first responders. And I'm glad to know right now in Allen County, not only does the sheriff's office have Narcan in each of their cruisers, the police department also has Narcan in their cruisers. The school resource officers, we have 4 school buildings here in Allen County in the public school district, and we have 1 school resource officer per building, each equipped with naloxone. Also, the school nurses have access to naloxone. We have naloxone in our Allen County jail here. We have naloxone also in our court systems. We have naloxone in our city county buildings. We trained all of our volunteer fire departments across our communities, because oftentimes when there's a 911 call, the first people in our community is oftentimes that arrives on the scene is not necessarily sheriff or police department. It's oftentimes fire. Now we're beyond the emergency first responders. Now we are in the process of trying to reduce the stigma of this beyond that in order to have Narcan in the hands of everybody that could potentially ever need it. We've done some community trainings. We're training people that are in our high-risk communities, people that are in our 12-step programs. We're doing trainings for those folks and then providing them the Narcan. In addition to that, we've started training at some local places of business that has a lot of employees, and we're providing Narcan there to those folks after they go through the training. And we've got some more of those trainings scheduled in the future. We're trying to implement these trainings across our county and put Narcan in the hands of as many people as we can to reduce to hopefully save as many lives as we can. It's a community effort. It's here at the grassroots, and but we could not do this without our federal partners, without CADCA, without it. And we're thankful for this Walmart partnership. It takes all of us working together to make a difference. And years ago, I saw firsthand the devastation of substance use. I was called to some scenes as the chaplain and seen some things that I'd rather not speak about here on this webinar. And but it moved me and caused me to spend the better part of my adult life trying to make a difference here in Scottsville and Allen County. And we're working hard to do that. And we've got a great team. We've got a great leadership between our county judge and mayor and sheriff and police department and our community and our business leaders and our school district here locally. It's all hands on deck. Our sector members are really active in what we do here, and they do a great job. And I just want to reiterate, it seems like every step that we make in the right direction, there's always going to be challenges. And it seems like the drugs are always changing, and we have challenges around those. But I want to encourage everybody that your work makes a difference. Our work makes a difference. For every life that we save is an opportunity for that person to succeed and excel, and then they can pay it forward and make a difference and leave the world a better place than what we found it. Again, I would like to thank CADCA for this opportunity, thank Walmart for this opportunity, General Price and the leadership staff there at CADCA that's making this partnership possible, and trust that it will make a difference. Thank you. God bless, and be safe. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Reverend Shane. Thank you for speaking to us tonight, for being our co-host, for all that you do for the state of Kentucky, and finally for your friendship with us at CADCA. Now we will turn our attention to Amy Payne. Amy Payne has worked for Victory Hill Church for the past 4 years as a discipleship pastor and is a person in long-term recovery. As a discipleship pastor, Amy oversees Victory Hill's discipleship path, helping community members develop in their faith. Amy felt a calling to give back to the community and bring together like-minded people. After creating a small group at the church, Amy and her team drew members by partnerships with the local drug court system, treatment centers, and jails. With the growth of her group, Amy and the Victory Hill team identified a new location for their services and community in the heart of downtown Scottsville to be more accessible and convenient for their members. Victory Hill's Dream Center held a grand opening in June of this year, providing a central location for multiple support group meetings throughout the week and a doorway to wraparound services for the needs of people in transition in Scottsville, especially those in recovery experiencing homelessness. The Dream Center exists to give a practical help and hope to families in Scottsville by providing resources and long-term skills in order to help families gain traction towards spiritual, mental, and physical stability. We are excited to hear from you, Amy.
Hi, my name is Amy Payne, and I currently serve as the discipleship pastor at Victory Hill Church in Scottsville, Kentucky. And I'm just, first of all, would like to say thank you for allowing me to share just a little bit about my story today and share a little bit about what's going on in the life of our community. So I am a person that's committed to long-term recovery. I just celebrated 6 years sobriety in this past July. And, when I can't really remember the catalyst that drew me into addiction. But I do remember the catalyst that changed my life. And it was a moment of complete surrender. And, but I can tell you the moment that my life began to change. But it didn't change in that moment. That's when it started to change. So once I made a full surrender, surrendered my will over to God, there was about a 2-year restoration period in my life. And that's just really where I started building into the relationships in my life and really a restoration period. But after about 2 years, there became a time where I knew that I was called to serve people that were like me. There was a void in our community, and there was just a dire need. And so I started looking for people like me. And I spent most of my time, at work or at church. And so that's the areas, that's the places that I began to look. And I started a small group of people that were like-minded, that were committed to long-term recovery like me. And so we began as a very small group. And over a couple of years, we started to grow. We became attractive as a group. And the wonderful thing about sobriety is you start operating out of a place of gratitude, and it's not something that you keep. You have to give it away. And so, we were just growing with one another and having these just awesome breakthroughs. And we were inviting people to our community. Our community was growing, and the space that we were afforded became too small. And so at the beginning of this year, we realized that we kind of had a problem, that we needed some more space, that we were outgrowing the space that we were meeting in. And in addition to that, our space is kind of removed from the area that we were trying to serve, the population we were trying to serve. So even though we had that problem, we began to look for ways to correct that problem, to fill that problem, and or fill that need. And so in May of this year, we were afforded the opportunity to take the lease over on a building that was directly located smack dead in the middle of the population that we were trying to serve. And that's when we got to open up the Dream Center. So we were able to open the Dream Center of May of this year. The Dream Center is a space where community takes place. Before opening the Dream Center, our biggest support for substance abuse was our local drug court program. So the problem with the local drug court program at the time was, due to COVID, we only had 2 support meetings in town. And one of those were one of our group, which was kind of far removed from town. And most of our participants are required to complete 3 to 5 meetings a week. Now, this is in addition to counseling and peer supports, and none of this was available in our town. So we knew immediately when we were going to get this property that we were going to be able to do so much more than one single community meeting a week. So we gathered forces with local community members, and we looked at how we could fill not only the spiritual needs, but the physical needs of our community as well. And so that's a lot has happened since May. At the Dream Center, we now offer 7 meetings a week. Those are all 12-step support meetings, in addition to a grief support meeting. We do a lot of peer support meetings out of the Dream Center. But one of the things that I'm most proud of is that since opening the Dream Center, every person in every meeting, out of all of those meetings, we've had the opportunity to have naloxone training with every person that walks in that building. So the population that needs it the most, we've been able to put that product in their hand that life-saving naloxone and send them back out in their community. In addition to that, we were able to invite our public and educate them and train them and equip them with naloxone. Being able to do that, not only has it filled that need in our community, but it's also kind of broke the stigma off that's related to it. So we have big visions. We are still kind of in our infancy state at the Dream Center. But our desire is to continue to meet the physical and spiritual needs of our community as those needs grow, and to fully build a healing and operational ecosystem within our community to help people become fully recovered from substance abuse. Thank you for allowing me to share today. It's been an honor and a privilege.
Thank you, Amy, for taking time to speak with us today, and congratulations on the opening of Victory Hills Dream Center. It's so affirming to hear how one spark of inspiration leads to connecting people together and growing into such a promising catalyst for change in the community. Thank you to all of our speakers this evening. Each of you are doing so much to raise awareness and expand services in this challenging environment. And now we will review the virtual reality simulation portion of this event. Walmart has invested in training their associates, which includes this use of the virtual reality. The VR program was developed as a tool for training to help replicate unique training situations that are hard to replicate in a classroom setting, such as Black Friday trainings and simulations. This technology led to the development of non-retail trainings, such as the VR, which we will see next. Let's take a moment to review this training.
Dude, guess what I just swiped for my grandma?
What? Don't people get strung out on this stuff?
Yeah, that's the point.
These two industrious young gentlemen have stolen opioid medication for recreational use. Oxycodone, hydrocodone, fentanyl, and heroin are a group of chemicals referred to as opioids. The first three may be prescribed by a medical professional to treat pain, but they can be addictive and deadly, especially if not taken as directed. Heroin has no legitimate medical purpose. Opioid overdose is the current leading cause of death for people under 55. True or false? More than half of Americans have been affected by opioids. Correct. Over 70,000 people died of opioid overdose in the United States in 2017. And millions more were impacted through overdose or misuse. That means that if you have not been directly affected by opioids, someone you know likely has. But not every overdose needs to end in death. Today we're going to teach you to spot the signs of an overdose and administer naloxone, a life-saving medication.
Hey. You okay, dude? You don't look so good.
Opioid overdoses will slow or stop your breathing. This reduces the amount of oxygen in your body, resulting in pale or clammy skin. The pupils will constrict until they are the size of a pin. The lack of oxygen can cause the fingers and sometimes lips to turn blue, gray, or purple, depending on the person's skin tone.
Your breathing is weird. It's too slow.
A very serious side effect of opioids is depressed breathing. During an overdose, their breathing will become shallow, erratic, or stop entirely.
Yo, Jay, wake up, man. Wake up or I'm calling the cops. John, hey, I'm not playing with you. Are you breathing? Dude, you're not breathing. Jonathan.
Loss of consciousness is the final tell of an overdose. If you suspect someone is passing out because of an overdose, you should scream their name and try to wake them to see if they will respond. As with any emergency, the first thing you should do is call 911.
911, what's the emergency?
Yeah, hello? I need help.
Naloxone is a life-saving medication that can reverse opioid overdose and restore breathing. There are several types of naloxone available, and all of them provide a life-saving medication in the event of an opioid overdose. In the example today, you'll see the nasal spray Narcan administered. If you happen to have the injectable form, make sure to hold the needle straight and inject it into a muscle, like the shoulder or the upper thigh. First, peel back the packaging to remove the device. The device has a plunger and a nozzle. Hold the device with your thumb on the plunger and 2 fingers on the nozzle. Be careful not to accidentally spray the naloxone before you are ready. The device only has 1 dose, so don't test it out. Put the device right up their nostril until your fingers are touching their nose. Press firmly on the plunger to release the dose of naloxone.
Come on, buddy. Wake up. Come on, man, wake up.
After you administer naloxone, place them in the recovery position and wait for help. The person who overdosed needs immediate medical care. You should stay with them until help arrives in case they lose consciousness again. Another dose may be necessary.
There you go. There you go. All right, that's it. Welcome back.
Great job. When people think of overdose, they usually think of recreational opioid use like we saw here. This is a stereotype, and unfortunately, there are many situations that lead to accidental overdose. Let's take a look at other situations that can lead to accidental overdose.
Mom? 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 Mom, wake up. Mom? Not again. My mother is blacked out. I think she's had a heart attack. Send an ambulance.
Please stay calm. I'm going to check her vitals. What's her name?
Blanche.
Blanche, I'm here to help you, okay? Is that hers? I'm gonna check her for an overdose. She's got a pulse, but her breathing is slow. Let's check her pupils. All right, stay with me. Uh-oh, they're constricted. With this medication, this may be an overdose. Let's administer naloxone. All right, Blanche, stick with me, okay? 1 second. All right, I'm just gonna go right up here. The patient took too much of her prescribed medication. She forgot that she took her medication before breakfast and took another dose after breakfast. In the event that this had been a heart attack, naloxone wouldn't have been able to treat the heart attack, but it would generally be fine to administer to her without serious complications. Talk to your healthcare provider or check the package insert for possible side effects and additional information. All right, Eugene, got your stuff. Oh no. Eugene took an old opioid medication that he had previously been prescribed for pain. Usually this wouldn't cause an overdose, but he's taking a new benzodiazepine medication. When opioids and benzodiazepines mix, the results can be deadly. Always check with your doctor or pharmacist before taking any medication, just in case there will be a negative interaction with your other medications.
Sending an ambulance right away.
Opioid overdose can happen to anyone. You can overdose from opioids even when taking a prescription exactly as your doctor prescribed, which is exactly what happened to me. All right, hotshot. I hope you're paying attention. It's your time to shine. Select the things you should look for when you suspect an opioid overdose. Now, let's review how to administer naloxone. Correct. You have to remove the device from its packaging. It will not do you a lot of good otherwise. Correct. That's how you hold the device. That's correct. You did it. You saved my life. Thank you for knowing what to do in the event of an opioid overdose. Accidental overdose can happen to anyone taking opioids, whether recreationally or even as directed by a doctor. This information can save a life. Opioid misuse is a national epidemic, and accidental overdose can happen to anyone taking opioids. It takes an entire community to keep all our members safe from overdose. If you or someone you care about is taking opioids for any reason, consider getting naloxone at your local pharmacy and keeping it on you at all times. No prescription is required, and it could save your life or the life of someone you care about.
Tonight's event was scheduled for an hour, so we want to be respectful of your time, and we will forego the Q&A portion of the event. However, we wanted to extend our thanks to all of our speakers and participants for attending this event. We truly appreciate your time and insight. Please reach out to us at CACA at any time with more suggestions, comments, and questions. My name is Mia Wallace, and you can reach out to me or any members of our team, Reiko Mendoza or Sean Moore, and look for us to be reaching out to you to discuss this more and get your tremendous feedback. Thank you to the Walmart team for developing this powerful tool. We're so excited to work with you to connect this with community members. Finally, thank you so much to the Scottsville-Allen County Faith Coalition, our co-host this evening and wonderful friends. We are now through the hour and we will conclude the webinar, and I wish you a great rest of your week. Good night.